Hello, YouTube.
Hello.
We are setting up.
Just a time.
Here we go.
4 more minutes.
Mhm. So our Dallas office is opening.
Oh yeah. Do we have an opening date yet?
We are going to move the furniture in.
Oh, okay. That's our opening day.
Move the furniture in.
Next week? Or do we know? Am I asking hard questions? Okay.
These are difficult questions. We don't know the answer to.
Ah.
And then we're getting the internet.
Internet. Telephones.
Did we get the internet yet?
No, I haven't.
It will be done. We'll get the internet. We would order it today so that we get a date.
Yeah.
And then,
Keys
We
and
have keys.
We have
passcode.
the keys.
Oh.
yeah, she was going to check the mail on Monday morning.
Yay. Mondays are my days.
There's nothing there, but you can go look
Nothing.
and find the mailbox. We don't know where it's at.
I do. It's on the first floor. There's a hallway, and there's another hallway, and then there's a door.
We will do a live from the new office once there are things in it.
Yep.
That is Jennifer's home base. Our criminal attorney will be here. She'll do some stuff here, but we'll put her office over there. She's kindly offered.
Nice.
So I'm excited about that.
And we have 2 other working offices in there? Or like offices that
2
can be
other
set up?
working offices, 1 other place would be for a reception area, and then we also have a conference room. Nice. On fancy glass windows.
Nice.
Exciting.
Off of Mockingbird by Love Field Airport, right?
Yes.
Off of 35.
35 and
North
Mockingbird.
Clemens.
Near love,
Yes.
because we love. So Rachel Zoe said Fringe is having a major moment. He's going to box. Did your box come?
It will be here the 11th, which is Monday.
Good.
It better be. Because I leave Thursday, so.
We subscribe to Box of Style by Rachel Zoe. So these are from there. This is from
that is from there too, yeah.
Yes. Some of my interesting things I would never purchase for myself,
Exactly.
but I end up liking them. Friday. Long day, long week.
It's already been a long day. It's only 2.
1 minute. Un momento, por favor. So we're gonna talk about mediation today. I don't think
No, I don't think we ever introduced our topic, mediations. There are so many different types of mediations that we'll talk about. Some that I know.
We'll talk about kind of going into a mediation, what clients should do, what we do, why it's important to prepare, just a general overview of what a mediator is and what they do. And there are many mediators. A lot of people claim to be mediators.
Don't actually mediate.
I have my mediation requirements. So it's not like a certificate, but it's kind of like a certificate.
Oh.
But I spend more time litigating. Okay, here we go. Happy Friday, Facebook. Thank you for joining us on Disclosure Live with Brandy Austin Law. I don't know what happened there.
You forgot your name.
I forgot my name. I'm Brandy Austin. I'm with
Yesha Patel.
and today we're going to talk about mediation. What is mediation? What does it mean for your case if you get that far? Should you mediate? All of those questions. The answer is yes, but we'll go through it a little more in detail. So let's cover a few fun topics up front, and then we'll get straight to mediation.
The first one is National Best Friends Day. So go tell your best friend, Happy National Best Friends Day. Go get them a bracelet, I don't know.
I used to love those bracelets.
Yeah. Those the things with like a heart and you can break it and then one has a, yes. Cheesy things.
Mhm.
So yeah, go tell them Happy National Best Friends Day. Go get drinks with them. Go have lunch, dinner, whatever, go hang out,
Watch
movies.
Netflix.
Yep, Netflix.
Probably not chill.
Not with your best friend, please.
No. Okay.
Unless you're married to it.
Which I am. And we probably will watch. No, it's Dateline. It's Dateline night, y'all. That's my jam.
Kids could one day be.
Well, they did get here, right? Okay.
Moving on.
Moving on. It's
Speaking of
National
oopsie.
Oopsie Daisy. Oopsie Daisy or Oopsie Daisy. I've always said Oopsie Daisy Day. And it is a day set aside to encourage you to face the day positively and to get up gloriously, gratefully, and gleefully each morning.
Nice.
That is really not realistic. So I'm going to take this moment to talk about some issues that we've seen in the news. Suicide has come up twice with celebrities in the past week. Anthony Bourdain and Kate Spade. I love Kate Spade. So I know that in the legal profession, in and around the legal profession, suicide is a huge issue. This area in this profession is very high stressed. And there are a lot of type A personalities.
Absolutely.
And type A personality and high stress and failure don't go well together. There's a lot of instances of substance abuse, and substance abuse along with lack of sleep actually increase suicidal thoughts. So hopefully we can do a more in-depth episode on suicide, but I guess the most important thing is reach out to someone.
You contact the suicide hotline number, which I don't have it memorized, but
We'll put it in the
you can find
comments.
it. Yeah.
It's also on our Instagram stories page today. Also, you can contact me. You can contact any of us.
You can contact me.
We are happy to sit and chat and find a way for you to feel like you can make it at least one more day. And
Or get you help.
yes, we can't guarantee anybody anything, but we can help you put one foot in front of the other and get you to the place you need to be to get the help you need.
Yep.
So
And every life matters, and yours matters also.
you are more important than the darkness that you feel.
Yep.
So please remember that there are people out there that are willing to help and to walk you through it. So feel free to give us a call.
Yes.
All right, so let's go to some local news topics.
So the first one is Arlington firefighters will be hitting the streets again to collect money, and this time it's going to be for ALS, I can't say amyotrophic lateral sclerosis disease, and for Muscular Dystrophy Association. They've been doing this for about 60 years, and they're going to continue that. And
Yeah, you'll see them up and down in the intersections holding a booth
Yep.
asking for some donations.
Exactly. So please donate. It'll be June 7th through June 9th.
That's yesterday through tomorrow. Just reach in, find the change in your car, and throw it in the boot.
Yep.
All right.
And they'll give you a sticker.
Oh, that's fun.
Yep.
Okay, so now for some interesting news. Texas now has the first state-run gold depository in the entire country.
So you're telling me I can take all my gold
That is apparently what you can
and
do.
put it there.
So it's in Austin, so
Oh.
you're gonna have to drive about 4 hours. And there's a 23,000 square foot building operated by Lone Star Tangible Assets. I don't know. The Texas Comptroller was the very first customer, and he deposited his own gold. And you can go online. Any U.S. citizen can actually go online and set up an account to store your gold, silver, platinum, and other precious metals. And they're going to build another one, a bigger one. I'm not sure why we need something bigger than a 23,000 square foot depository. I mean, I guess it's state run.
I have a question. I don't know if you have the answer.
I do not.
Safety deposit box, you can get insurance for. Does this mean you don't have to get insurance, or do they have insurance? I don't know the answer, and I don't anticipate you know either. But I'm just asking.
Theoretically, well, the state has immunity for a lot of things.
True. So should you get insurance for it?
I have no
They
idea.
offer. I
There's-
would buy it. I don't know.
I have no idea. There are a lot of questions there, but I assume that if you're going to put it into a state facility, then they take responsibility for it.
Maybe.
I'm not sure. Anyway, let's go on. We are going to talk about mediation.
As a personal injury attorney, our clients go to mediation quite a bit, and we think it's important that this process is explained a little bit because we do it so frequently.
Mhm. So let's start with the basics.
Okay.
What is mediation?
It's a process an attempt to resolve your matter without having to do it in front of judge and jury. It's a sure thing type of matter, I guess.
But no.
But no, yeah.
Not sure thing. So you get the choice. So okay, so mediation, and you don't have to have a court case to mediate.
No, you can mediate before even having to file a lawsuit.
Any dispute.
Yes.
So and this is something that we assist with act as a de facto mediator for disputes that arise and without court filings or any sort of claim or issue. So you just essentially have two parties. Sometimes they come together in one room for opening statements. Not so much here in Tarrant County. Most of the time you go to your separate rooms with your attorneys, and one person goes from room to room and discusses what the other party wants.
Yep, and the process is confidential, so
Absolutely, it cannot be used in court, anything related to the mediation.
Yep.
So, but if you tell the mediator information and you say it's okay to share, they'll have the information, they just can't say how they got the information.
exactly, and if you give out information, then they can go back and research and find the said information and go about that way.
So, the state of Texas believes in mediation.
Yes.
And most every case is required to mediate. If you do not want to mediate or don't feel like you can settle, then you have to ask the judge for permission to not mediate. So, alternative dispute resolution is kind of the category that it falls under. And it really saves time, money, cost, effort.
Absolutely.
So, mediation is super important. We believe in it.
Yes.
I would say that a lot of our cases resolve prior to mediation. And then at mediation, it's a 50-50.
Right, as to whether they do actually, settle.
Because who gets to, so talk about a little bit, the client gets to decide whether they accept this settlement.
Exactly, and that's the sure thing I was discussing, is that if there is an offer made and if it's in the client's best interest and they're happy with the offer made, then it's a sure thing compared to a jury trial where you don't know 12 or 6 people can decide one way or the other, and you wouldn't be able to then have a say in it besides presenting your case at trial. So the client gets to be actively part of the mediation. They get to hear the evidence that is in support of their case, which then gets them, whether it's dollar bills or whether it's custody of a child,
custody, house, property,
whatever,
yeah,
probate matters,
Trust.
anything.
So you get to have control over the outcome of your case.
Exactly.
So a lot of people are encouraged by it. So let's talk about what we do to prepare. So
We bring the clients in, first thing.
so the most important thing is for a client to understand the positive points of their case and the not so positive points of their case.
Exactly.
So each case has good things and bad things. If you get to the point of a mediation and a lawsuit has been filed, there may be something questionable somewhere that we're going to need to talk about, right?
Yep. And that's what we do. We bring them in first. We have to prep separately as attorneys because, the information we're going to share with the client, we have to first know and gather and put it in a document. So I generally prepare a mediation sheet. I put all of the relevant information in there. I think everything that'll help their case, everything that will not help their case, I do pros and cons section. I share that information with them, go over it. If there have been any settlement negotiations done prior to this process, I share that information with them. They already have this information because every single time we get an offer in demand, we discuss this, but it's better to conclusively put everything in a document and then we sit down and go through it all.
So you get we go and put all this information in a notebook, and attorneys have notebooks with kind of outline of how they like to have things with all the information that they need. So when you go to mediation, and we have a digital notebook too, well, technology sometimes has hiccups, but anyway, at the moment, we're back to the paper ones.
Yep.
But we do have digital notebooks, so that we can flip through and, see the pictures, share.
Hyperlink to pictures.
Hyperlink.
I tried on that.
Yes. So we can talk about, oh, here's the picture, and then click on it, and the picture will pop up, and that way we can show the mediator, and the mediator has a good idea what we're talking about.
Yep.
Sometimes the party on the other side doesn't have all the information, and so having all that information available at our fingertips helps. So let's talk a little bit about family law. In family law, it's important to bring the client in and talk about what your best case scenario, what your worst case scenario, and kind of what you'd be willing to live with. Both parties aren't going to get everything they want. It just doesn't happen. In a divorce or a custody, and a custody, it's not really about you.
Yeah.
It's in the best interest of the child. In a divorce, it's going to be based on the marriage and how long and all sorts of other factors. What happened during the marriage? What happened to make the marriage end? That sort of thing. So it's important for clients to think about that in advance. And we prepare for mediation really extensively.
Yes.
Because this is an opportunity, and sometimes the best opportunity, to resolve without many, many hours and sometimes money spent preparing for trial.
Mm-hmm.
And trial can be, in divorce or custody, it can be very traumatic for everyone involved.
And expensive.
It's super expensive.
Yes.
Super expensive because there's a lot of work. We have to prep each person, and you have to, we generally write all of our questions, and it's a process.
Yes. And days worth of work, and
And
then actually showing up and trying the matter, which is 8 hours on its own if it's a full day trial, which is going to be most of the time.
I cannot get a PI case under 8 hours.
Nope.
I cannot, because there's a lot of stopping and starting. It's not just, oh, let's show up and do these 3 things that we have to do. It's let's show up, and the judge has to say the things, and the jury has to do their things, and then it's a whole day. And then sometimes it's
The next day.
if there is more than 2 people.
Yeah.
It's
It'll be
really-
more than 1 day
Yeah.
for sure.
So, and family law generally has a lot of time, but if you do a jury trial, it's going to be multiple days.
The family law, I don't do family law mediations. So our family law mediations also, how long are they?
4 hours. You
Okay.
can do 8 hours. I don't know very many people that do 2 hours unless there's just one issue you're mediating. So a divorce has multiple issues like custody, child support, property. There's health insurance and benefits and 401k and all that. So you just if you've resolved everything but say who's getting 401ks, then that would just take. Although in mediation they bring up everything.
Yes.
Sure. It's a family law is an emotional mediation.
Right.
Hopefully though, and usually it's been a few months since the separation or main trigger factor happened to the mediation. So hopefully emotions aren't quite so high, but you do have to relive kind of all of it. And sometimes you find out things in mediation that you did not
Know before.
know before.
Happens not as frequently in personal injury, but I think it happens sometimes in the sense of, something in the medical record that you didn't know was there, or that it's a different set of record that the other side retrieved via a different form of, gathering information. And you learn about all of that and dealing with the emotions that come with it.
In our law firm, we have an online portal for our clients.
Yes.
And when we get documents in, we share them with the clients.
Mhm.
The clients don't always read them as we share them, or maybe they forget to go back and look, or, medical records can be like 100 pages long. Nobody's going to sit there and read 100 pages. But in there, we've read them, and we find things that are a little questionable or give us pause, and so we'll have the clients review all the medical records.
Yep. At the mediation preparation.
Right, and then we talk about it. So after mediation, generally, if you do resolve at mediation, you do a mediated settlement agreement.
Yes.
So what is that?
It's an agreement between the parties and their attorneys that they agree to settle the case at whatever the terms they come to an agreement with.
And is that in writing?
Yes, it's always in writing.
And can you take it back?
No, you can't. It's an agreement between the two parties in writing. It's a contract.
At that point, it's a contract, and we always let people know that you don't get to take it back. This is a contract, this is the end of the line. If you agree to this, that's great.
Yep.
But this is it. So we wanna make sure everybody knows that. We do
Yes.
spend time going through that with everyone, and the client has to sign it on their own.
Yes, they do.
Also, one thing we didn't really talk about is the mediator. We always select mediators that are knowledgeable about the area of law that we're mediating.
Yes.
So, personal injury mediators are not the same as family law mediators.
No, and I don't think most of the personal injury mediators that we go to do a lot of family.
I don't think they do any.
Yeah, I don't think so, and I don't know any family law mediators that I've gone to that do personal injury.
No, I don't know any either. I do know that a lot of the personal injury mediators do other areas of law,
Yes.
because a lot of it kind of crosses over. Family law is kind of very specific, and you know, how you mediate, because it is high in emotion. Not that say that other areas aren't, but you know, different issues. There's an entire code for family law, so it's different. There is not a code for personal injury.
It's all case basis.
So there are limited mediators that have the knowledge required. A lot of times they're former judges. They tend to do best in explaining things to the client, because they come from a place of experience and how things are likely to go. And so they can let the client know, you can refuse this offer, but this is what typically happens, and so your chances are slim to none sometimes.
Yeah.
But we support our clients in their decisions. We always advise them along the way, right?
Yes, yes, and at the end of the day, it's their decision whether they want to accept or deny a offer made, and we give them everything that they need to make that decision. But unfortunately, I cannot make the decision for you. You have to make the decision on your own. It's gonna come from you, and you gotta sign on that piece of paper that says you've made this decision. Now, I will support your decision, and Brandy will support your decision,
Absolutely.
but that decision has to come from you.
And if we don't think it's the best decision, we do let you know.
Yes, absolutely.
Because sometimes we see people lose in the end, and we don't want that to happen. Because if you are our client, we obviously believe in you.
Yeah.
So-
And if we think you can get a better result at trial, we'll definitely tell you that.
We will put our foot down.
Yes.
So we do zealously represent our clients, and we do like them. So what happens if you refuse to settle at mediation?
You can always negotiate your case later on, but trial is where ultimately you'll get a decision. But in between your mediation and trial, you can still continue to negotiate the matter. You can still continue to quote unquote mediate, but not mediate with a mediator. You can always come to an agreement at any point in time before the jury verdict comes out.
That's true. That's true. You can't. Or the
Or
judges
bench
will
trial,
know.
yeah.
So I think that's all the basics. So one other thing. Sometimes the mediator will do a proposal.
Yes, this is the part where both parties cannot agree, but they're so close and neither wants to make that final leap to agree. The mediator then will do a proposal which will lay out the terms, and we'll give each party a week or 2 weeks, or I don't know how much time they want to decide, and let the mediator know. And if both of the parties agree, you're settled. If one of the party disagrees, you're not settled.
Well, I guess that's kind of a recap of mediation
Yep.
101 from different areas of law. And that's our show for today, and May 25th, 2018. We're so glad you joined us. Oh, it's not May 25th.
It is June
June
6th. 8th.
8th!
I didn't even pick it up.
I cannot believe, and then say, okay, the day. The month is already, it's like a quarter of the way through,
Yes.
right? Okay, back up. June 8th, 2018. Thank you for joining us today on Disclosure Live with Brandy Austin Law. I'm Brandy Austin.
I'm Yesha Patel.
Please enjoy your weekend and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And thank you, YouTube, standing strong. We like that.
Yes.
And we will see you next week. Hopefully we can do an episode more in depth on suicide prevention, and resources to help you, but we will let you know in advance. So, thank you. Happy Friday.
Bye.
Bye.
Maybe we should put the hotline stuff here.
Ooh, we should. That's a good idea. YouTube, I really hope you guys join us next week. I appreciate YouTube and its continued connection to the internet. We never have problems with YouTube Live.
And it's been around for so long.
I know.
It's a Google company after.
Yes. So thank you.